Good morning. Today is Saturday, September 16th, 2023. Approximately 7:45 a.m. I'm at work, getting a few hours in, getting a little work done before I go back home and watch football. And if you haven't already, would you please subscribe to my channel? Hit the like button so my channel can grow and get more subscribers if possible. I really would appreciate that. And this video is about my old way of thinking, right? Some of my old ways of thinking. And some things that I heard, I used to hear and believe when I was a Democrat. And things I used to hear about Trump supporters. I can make a whole chronicle about that, what I used to hear, or even what I believe. And one of them was that, Trump supporters are like they're in a cult, right? And I'm thinking that, and I kind of like believe that them people, they're crazy, man. They're a cult. Like, they gather up in the woods 3 or 4 times a year, gather around a bonfire, drinking chicken blood, with Trump on stage next to Satan, standing next to Satan himself. And they're out there chanting and hopping around with robes on and gowns, and they got somebody laid out on the altar, finna sacrifice him to Trump. Like I said, drinking chicken blood and got tattoos and drawings all on them, and just that old cultist type stuff. That's what I'm thinking Trump supporters are like. Y'all got to be crazy to support this guy. And the reason I felt like that is because I, just like most people watching the news, watching TV shows, MSNBC or whatever, when you're a Democrat, that's what you watch. And just believe in the media and what they said. So I'm thinking that anybody that support a guy like Trump, there got to be something wrong with him. So, and that's what they used to say, it's a cult. They're cult members, They worship the devil. All kind of stuff, man, they used to say about y'all. Until I became one, I believed it too, until I started looking, I like, and that kind of what piqued my curiosity. That's what made me look more into it, because I was trying to see what y'all had going on, what's wrong with y'all. And the more I started looking into it myself, I was trying to find these cult meetings y'all was at, trying to find out what woods y'all was in doing y'all little chants and seances and all the other stuff the Trump, the cult was doing. So, in my process of trying to find that out, doing research to prove that y'all was crazy, I found out that y'all wasn't crazy. I was the crazy one. Ain't that some shit? I found out I was crazy for believing what somebody told me instead of checking it out for myself. Anytime you do that, that's crazy, man. Don't take nobody's word for nothing. Always check stuff out for yourself before you believe it, no matter what it is. Not just politics, but religion, whatever. Anything somebody tell you, check it out before you believe it. As Ronald Reagan used to say, trust but verify. So I had to go verify that these damn Trump people are crazy, man. They're lunatics. They are cult members. And now I look back, like, how did I believe that about somebody, man? And then I think about all the stuff that's been said about me that wasn't true, that people right now believe, that don't know me, never got a chance to know me for themselves. They just believe something somebody said. And so I was around here believing that Trump supporters worship the devil. They meet up 2 or 3 times a year, during special seasons, gather out in some isolated place in the woods, dancing around a fire chanting, while Trump on stage next to Satan, drinking chicken blood, got blood all on their face, and just all kind of just Trump support. It got to be. That's just how the media can influence your thinking if you ain't careful. You gotta be careful when you're watching TV nowadays, watching the media, and because it's just one big propaganda machine. I used to wonder when Hitler was in Germany, how did he convince the German people to do what they did, to try to take over the world, to kill all those Jewish people for nothing, to believe that they was right for doing what they was doing, knowing they were going to be destroyed. How did he convince them people? Media. He used the media, propaganda machine. Hitler convinced them people by programming their minds with the media. The same thing our media is doing right now, to program your mind in which way they want you to go. Hitler did the same thing to the German people. That's how he was able to convince all those people, because all those people didn't hate Jews. All those people didn't want to take over the world. He convinced them to, with propaganda through the media. And it's still the most effective weapon in use today to control the mind of the people. You keep on pumping some of the people's mind over and over again and they'll believe it. Even if it's a lie. They know it's a lie. But if they keep hearing it, they'll believe it. That's how Hitler did what he did. Any dictator, any ruler, or whatever that want to convince the people to do something like going into Iraq. Where was the mass destruction? 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 Not like that. We never found it. Here we end up, just like Trump said, that's why I trust Trump, I believe him. He was the only, one of the only politicians, especially on the Republican side, that was against the war in Iraq. When everybody else was talking down on him, he was like, man, that's a big mistake. Donald Trump, go back while y'all talking about he crazy or whatever. Go back and look up when he was totally against that war, and he was right. And but President Bush used that propaganda, had me even thinking, let's go invade him. Yeah, because 9/11, we was all emotional. We ready for some get back. Somebody got to pay for this. So it was a perfect setup. Now he covered that propaganda. They got weapons of mass destruction. That ain't got nothing to do with 9/11. We trying to find the people that did 9/11. They're from Saudi Arabia. Why are we going into Iraq? He had another agenda. Why are we going into Iraq because of 9/11? When the people that did 9/11 were from Saudi Arabia, and we knew that. Proof of that. Them were Saudis. But anyway, that's a whole nother video right there, man. But I no longer believe that Trump supporters are devil worshippers. I no longer believe that Trump supporters are in the cult. Because I support Trump, I ain't none of that. I'm just a guy who weighs the issues. Which politician, or whatever you want to call it, which candidate, in my opinion, have the best idea. I remove the personal stuff, how I feel about the person. Because I don't agree with everything Trump says or does. But presidential, his policies, how effective are they? That's what I look at. I no longer care about no personal agenda. I don't care about Hunter Biden with Joe Biden. I don't care about that, what Hunter Biden did. It ain't got to do with Biden, he's the president. Hunter Biden is not the president. I don't care what Hunter Biden did. What I do care about is how incompetent Joe Biden is as a president. It ain't got nothing to do with Hunter Biden. He's incompetent without Hunter Biden. So I don't care about the personal issues. I care about how effective are you as a leader, and Joe Biden is one of the worst. So that's my take on it, man. Trump supporters, it might be some Trump supporters that are cultists, but they was that before they became Trump supporters. It ain't got nothing to do with them supporting Trump. But from what I learned and what I've seen for myself, I was wrong. Y'all have a blessed Saturday.